What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk Punch. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening in on the audio version of the podcast, which we do have, and you can find wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you subscribe. Then come back here every Wednesday to see what we're talking about. Kind of like this week's topic. We're doing our top 3 annoying movie characters. It's a good one. It's a good one. I don't know. We may annoy people with this. Maybe there's some people that really like these characters, and we're gonna come in and we're gonna talk about how they ruined the movie for us. I don't know. See, I am Brody Hanson, joined by
Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. All right, Charlie. How you feel about this list? This was your idea. This was your idea.
This one was hard for me. I think that I'm gonna have one choice that people will be like, "That's weird," and then 2 choices will probably make people mad. This, we'll see. I'm off the board. I'm all over the place with these 3, bro. I'm so sorry in advance. I apologize.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe people agree with you. Maybe people are like, "No, Charlie, you're spot on, as usual. You're like the voice of the people."
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get right into the list then. Starting with number 3, I believe I am up first, but we'll see. I am. Oh man, it's Turk from Tarzan. Now, Tarzan is one of my favorite Disney movies. I love the movie Tarzan. But this character, voiced by Rosie O'Donnell, is so bad to me, it almost ruins the movie. It doesn't quite ruin the movie. We'll get into some of those later where characters actually ruin the movie. But Turk, I want a cut of this movie where Turk doesn't exist. I don't know if it's actually the character. I don't know if it's just how Rosie O'Donnell did the character, but I watch it and I just think, oh, I wish this character didn't exist. Because I love everything else about Tarzan. I love the characters, the music, Tarzan and Jane and all this stuff. But then Turk shows up and I'm just like, oh, gosh, why is this character in here? And I know. Disney always has one of these characters. There's always like this comic relief, goofy character. But for some reason, Turk is like the worst. The worst of all the annoying side friend characters.
Poor Turk.
No, not poor Turk. I need a Turkless cut. Charlie,
I don't know. I don't have strong feelings on Turk, but you're probably right. I haven't seen Tarzan in a long time.
Oh,
I do think it's funny. We had similar number 3s. You'll
really?
See, but well, I mean, in one sense.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
you want to cut to mine, or
let's.
What do you want to say?
No, we can go right over to yours.
Okay. All right. So from The Land Before Time.
Okay.
Sarah the Triceratops is the absolute worst.
I didn't know if you were going Sarah or Ducky there. I didn't know.
Oh, I love Ducky. But Sarah is so bossy and so like, and she never learns. There's like 14 movies. She's always the same. There's no growth to the character. She headbutts a sleeping Tyrannosaurus Rex in the eye until it wakes up. She lies to everybody. She pretends she's super tough when she's scared. All she does is cause problems. Littlefoot's on the way to like find the promised land after watching his family die in front of him, and she's just like sassing him and giving him a hard time the whole time. And you know what? It is just a badly written character, and it does not. It's like they just needed extra conflict throughout, and so just kind of constantly made this one character the source of conflict throughout this journey. And then they're like, that worked. Let's just roll it back. I have friends like this in real life that are fantastic as long as you're doing everything that they want to do. And the second you're like, actually, no, I don't want to do that. I had a friend who stopped being my friend because I didn't want to go camping with him enough. Like, you never want to go camping with me. I'm like, I got kids, man. I can't just go camping. I can't camp all the time, man. Why you want to make me camp all the time? Can't we hang out and do stuff without going camping? No, it's over. The friendship is over because I wouldn't do what they wanted to do.
Oh,
They're like,
man.
all right, you go walk to go find your dead mom's promised land, and I'm out of here. I'm gonna go headbutt some T-Rexes, and then I'm gonna bring them back to you so that you die. Get out of here, Sarah.
She also screams like non-stop throughout this movie.
She does.
A lot of screams. Yeah, Sarah's bad. On the level of Turk, I don't know.
Much worse than
I
Turk.
don't think so. No. Turk is bad. Almost ruined. Go watch Tarzan, Charlie. Doggone it. Show your kids Tarzan. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
This annoying Turk character, and I can't watch that with the kids.
You can get around Turk. The rest of the movie's great. All right. Moving on to number 2. My number 2. Charlie, I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to see if you can guess my number.
Okay.
Batman villain.
Oh, is it from Batman Forever? Is it the Riddler?
Yes, it is. No, it's the Riddler. Okay. Now, okay. I'm adjusting to my seat because I gotta talk about this. Okay. I've loved Batman my whole life. And so, there's a problem when 13-year-old Brody comes out of the movie and doesn't like the movie because of the portrayal of this character. I was all about Batman. Give me Batman everything. Comic book Batman, all the Batman stuff. And I didn't like this movie because I can't stand this version of the Joker. And I've talked about Riddler. This version of Riddler. I've talked about this on the show before, where Riddler is one of my favorite villains. If not my favorite Batman villain. I love Riddler. And I get it. There's people that see this and they're like, oh, they're just doing the thing like the 60s. Which, that was fine in the 60s because that's what the character was. They were all campy and silly and doing all this stuff. But that is not who the character was in 1995. You go watch Batman the Animated Series and you get an amazing Riddler. That's where, like, really my love
series,
for
man.
Riddler came about, was watching Batman the Animated Series. And so then when Batman the Animated Series is on the air, put out this version of the character made no sense. And it was so frustrating and so infuriating to watch this character prance around the screen screaming. Like, he's the Riddler. He's super smart. He can do all this stuff. Why is he running around screaming? This and Batman Forever, spoilers if we ever rank the Batman movies, which we've talked about doing. This is my least favorite Batman movie because of the portrayal of this Riddler. It is so bad. And I get there's people that like Jim Carrey. They got a soft spot for Jim Carrey. Maybe they saw this as a kid and they loved it. I saw this as a kid and I didn't like it. And it has weighed down the entire movie for me. I feel better.
Well said. I got nothing to add except I completely agree on every single possible thing that you said about that.
Yeah, it's like to the level of frustrating that this came out.
Yeah.
All right.
This could have been on my list. But I went a different direction.
Okay.
And this may be controversial. My number 2 may be controversial.
Okay.
I feel like if Dylan were here, he'd be mad. Because
okay.
Because he likes this movie and he made me watch it. And I was like, Dylan, dude, this movie's terrible. I can't get through this movie. This movie's driving me absolutely nuts. It's a movie called Made with Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn.
Okay.
And it came out after the popularity of Swingers. And you can see the tagline: Swingers meets The Sopranos.
Uh-huh.
But it's neither of those things. It's a bad movie, or at least I think it's a bad movie. It's hard for me to tell if it's a good movie or not because I spent so much time hating Vince Vaughn throughout the whole of it. Now, I like Vince Vaughn. I think that there's like a dial where you turn Vince Vaughn to a certain level, and you find that sweet spot, just the right amount of Vince Vaughn, because he's always Vince Vaughn. Whatever role he plays, he's just, you get Vince Vaughn. That's it. You
Yeah,
don't get Vince Vaughn to come in and be somebody else. And it
sure.
was like they saw Swingers and they're like, hey, you were the perfect amount of Vince Vaughn in Swingers. What would happen if we added 5 levels of Vince Vaughn to that? And then you get Made, and he is just like talking the entire movies. He's like just a bumbly idiot guy. He's doing that. I Look, maybe I need to revisit this. If you love Made, go easy on me, but tell me to rewatch it in the comments. But this is a movie that I've never even contemplated rewatching, because every time I see a picture of it or someone says anything, it's like I get this mini PTSD of like trying to make my way through it, and Vince Vaughn just making me physically angry as I watched it. Look at Jon Favreau. That's how, with the black eye, and look how irritated he is in that picture. That's how I felt watching this movie. And Vince Vaughn's just over there, just right in my ear, just this.
Now, I've never seen this movie, Charlie, but I do, on that poster right there, it says the easy part is surviving the mob, the hard part is surviving the friendship. So is his character meant to be like annoying, and like, is that a part of the character? Is that he's that way?
Sure, I think he's meant to be, a thorn in the side of the straight-laced Favreau. In any odd couple pairing film where you have kind of like friendships, there are 2 different personality types. They always portray the one that's a little bit more eccentric or over the top as being annoying to the one who's more straight and kind of quiet and persnickety, right? In any pairing movie. So you have that element like kind of baked in whenever you do these kind of odd couple comedies. But to the level that he is, I don't think they intended people to have as visceral reaction as I had to watching this movie. Sure, like you have characters that you designed to be annoying, but you got to be careful because they have to be likable too. You can't just, otherwise it's just nails in a chalkboard for a couple hours. It's, hey, wasn't that irritating? I did it on purpose. You came to my concert. I scraped nails in a chalkboard for 2 hours. Meant it to be irritating. Did I do it? You did it. Never coming back. Hated every second of it. Congratulations. So I don't know. Maybe I need to give it another chance. Actually, no, I don't. Brody, you do. You watch it and you tell me what you think. And then you say, Charlie, no, this is actually great.
Don't do that to me.
Come on, help me out.
Who is it streaming anywhere?
You know what? I've never checked because I never want to see it again.
It doesn't sound like a movie I would enjoy. It sounds like I would be really frustrated.
Is it my glowing review of it that's kind of souring you on it?
A little bit, yeah.
People liked it. It is not like a. That's why I said this might be controversial. This is not a like hated movie. I think the consensus is that it's not as good as Swingers, which it's not.
Sure.
But I don't think people probably dislike it as much as I do. Certainly, Dylan. If Dylan were here, he'd be like, "Come on, bro, come on." I gotta work on my Dylan impression. Wait, let me get. Come on, bro, you gotta watch Made. Is that good? Is that perfect, Dylan?
Spot on. Spot on.
I don't know what he's doing with his hands. Dylan, what do you do with your hands, man? Dylan, if you're watching this at home with your new 3-dong baby, what do you do? What are you doing with your hands all the time, man? All the time with your hands.
He does the point. Good point.
He doesn't. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, go to the next one. I'm drowning here. Dylan's mad. He's angry texting me right now. We gotta move on.
Yeah, we're gonna get some texts. He's gonna be like, "I leave for 2 weeks, guys. Throw me under the bus." We love you too, Dong. We can't wait till you come back. All right, moving on to number 1. We are moving right along with this list. I'm gonna try not to get too annoyed, but this to me, and I am probably, I would guess I'm maybe in the minority here. I didn't like this character at all, and it did ruin the movie for me, and it's a recent movie. It's Katie from Shang-Chi. I could not stand this character. I understand that she could be in the beginning. Okay, they needed to have somebody for Sean to give some backstory to. They need to have somebody for him to talk to that he can say like, "Oh, this is kind of my family history. Oh, this is how you actually say my name, Shang-Chi." And she can make the joke, "Oh, you changed your name from Shang to Sean." That should have been the end of her involvement. No. Hold on. My earphones just died.
Oh no.
So while I do this, I'm going to talk about this.
Okay, go ahead. Talk.
Technical difficulties, folks. Just a sec.
Speaking of irritating, am I right, folks?
Oh, we're good now. Okay. So that should have been her involvement, is that she was there for some exposition and some backstory. But then she never goes away. She never leaves. And it's through taking her to the club. It's through taking her through fights. She almost falls off a building. She's in all this danger. She somehow survives all that for no reason. And then she gets taken back to his dad's house. And I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for anybody to say, "You can go. Like, you don't need to be here. Go home to San Francisco." But no, what does her dad do? Her dad says, "Okay, come into this super secret room and I'm going to show you all these water effects and I'm going to show you the history of the family. I'm going to give you all this information even though you mean nothing to me." And then she continues on, and they take her to the Forbidden City thing. And then she's learning how to do a bow and arrow. And I'm like, why are you still here? Why is this character still here? And then, in the end, she's the one that saves the day. It was infuriating. When the arrow hit the dragon, I said, oh gosh, it was Katie. Oh my goodness. This character who shouldn't be here, who has no business being here, who has no special powers, who hasn't done anything, is now the one person who can fire a bow and arrow far enough to destroy the dragon? Or to defeat the dragon, whatever it happened? And I was flabbergasted that this character was still there. And people were like, "Oh yeah, come on. Oh, come here. Let me teach you bow and arrow stuff." I was like, why? Why is she here? It continually took me out of the movie, all of her involvement, because she shouldn't have been there for the whole movie. Somebody should have said, "Go home. You don't belong here." Okay, this is a family business. This is a family affair, or something like that. But they just kept involving her, and I didn't understand why, and it was so frustrating that I haven't watched Shang-Chi since, because I was so annoyed by this character. When we did this list, this was the one that I was like, I know my number one. Sorry, that was really passionate. That was really
I was and compelling. I gotta admit, didn't bother me that much.
Oh man.
So sorry to not hop on the grumpy old man train with you on this one, but I understand what you're saying. I understand why that frustrated you. Are you not gonna watch her spin-off show on Disney Plus?
Oh gosh, are you joking me? Is she getting a spin-off show?
I'm joking you.
Oh,
I'm joking you.
Don't do that to me, Charles. My goodness. Yeah, when my kids want to watch this, I'll watch it with them, but I have no desire to just sit down and watch this movie because this character was so frustrating to me.
Fair enough. I like the movie. What are you gonna do?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the Katie lovers out there. I'm sure there's people who really liked her and who like Aquafina in general, and like, oh, I really enjoyed this character. I thought she was funny. I thought she fit well with the story. I don't know. Sorry if you liked her. I didn't. You're okay to like her. I'm not saying you're bad for liking her. I'm just saying I didn't.
Hey, different things for different beings. Oh,
there you go. All right.
So
you're number one, Charlie.
It's okay because I may not be on board with your number one, and I'm pretty sure you're not on board with mine. So I think we're good here. So My number one is a longtime nemesis. Like if a movie could be one's nemesis, this would be my nemesis. And it came out at a time where, there was just enough people around me in my life who were bending over and trying to talk to me from their butt and quoting this movie like just nonstop. And we did it. If you saw our bad dates episode, that horrible date for the second movie that was like the end of a dating relationship for me. Just so Ace Ventura is the character for me. And I talked about a dial of Vince Vaughn, right? Where you have the sweet spot of Vince Vaughn. Jim Carrey's dial goes a lot farther than Vince Vaughn. His dial is elastic. And depending on the movie that he's in, that dial doesn't go to 10. That doesn't even just go up to 11. I mean, that thing goes, to 50 or 100 or whatever crazy, I don't know what he's doing right before a take, how much caffeine or stimulants he's popping. But I will say, like, modern day Jim Carrey, I thought he was great as a Dr. Robotnik and
totally.
Sonic, and he's had a lot of really good roles after this period of time. But man, I can't watch this movie. I cannot watch this movie. And I know that I have people that I love that love this movie, and that is okay. We have learned to not discuss it. This is like a dead issue. Some people might say, don't talk about religion or politics at the table. I have friendships where it's like, we just can't, we won't talk about Ace Ventura. We can't bring it up. It is too sore of a subject. Things get a little too heated. If you have not seen this movie, I commend you for having not seen it. And I would strongly suggest that you never watch it. If you're curious to see it, I think you could probably just find a few clips online of the best parts, and that will tell you if you're going to like the movie or not, because it's basically a lot of immature humor. I'm sure there was a sweet spot where I could have enjoyed this had I had been surrounded by a different group of friends when it came out. But man, I don't know. Nope, can't do it. And if I'm never showing my kids, because if they start quoting this movie around me, it's over. It's over. I'm gonna next podcast. You're gonna see me living in Reno with Brody. Like, what happened?
Oh man,
they watched Ace Ventura. I can't handle it.
Yeah, this was at like the Ace Ventura or the Jim Carrey kind of high, when it was everybody just wanted like that level 20 Jim Carrey. You had this, you had Mask, this was around the same time as Riddler. I think it's kind of funny that we both have a Jim Carrey on our list, because it was.
I could have easily put. Could have all been The Mask and Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber. And I know people love those movies. I'm so sorry. Look, in Living Color, the TV show, the sketch comedy show he was on, I thought his like up to whatever 1,000 worked really well in that, because you're talking about short bursts of it. 5 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 1 minute here, and then palate cleansers all along the way. But for 90 to 120 minutes of that, oh my goodness. That's too much. It's too much. I'm flashing back, Brody. I'm in a bad place. My eyes are panicked.
I haven't seen this in a long time. This is not one that I plan on revisiting. I think they're just thinking about some of the jokes, a lot of those that may have been kind of funny and edgy back in the early to mid 90s would not age well. So yeah, this one is not one I'm looking to revisit.
Fair enough. All right. Well, look, you guys out there, everyone has seen a movie with a character or two that has driven them absolutely nuts. I think if you there's some, we stayed away, I think, from some of the more obvious choices out there, some of the more widely hated characters, made it more personal.
Sure.
But you let us know in the comments if there's characters that have ruined movies for you. If you think we're crazy for not loving, if I'm so sorry. If Maid is your favorite movie, if you just love some Aquafina, let Brody know. Come after Brody. His picks were
Please don't.
Everybody loves Turk.
No, please don't.
Everyone loves Turk. Come after Brody.
Oh,
Where's the get the Turk hive?
be nice
on
in the
road.
comments, people, please. We get some mean comments.
Get the turtle heads out
sometimes.
here.
Be nice to us in the
Yeah,
comments.
we appreciate the nice ones, and make sure you check out some more of our content and click below the beard, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys later.